Let me in. It's raining out here. Oh, this place ain't half bad. Hello! You might recognize me from my series on opening Hololive OCG packs, but what you might not know is that I'm not unemployed. I'm what they call a professional light novel translator, which just means I'm unemployed but with money. I also, perhaps even more surprisingly, have several years of teaching experience under my belt. So, I want to bring a new series to this channel where we look at some Hololive clips and talk about the Japanese behind it. Learn a little bit of Japanese. You know, we learn a little Japanese. That sounds fun. So, let's do that. Okay, so to start off, I've chosen a Hololive clip that has a lot of useful phrases for just tuning into random streams. And we're going to kind of pick apart a few of the more important words a bit more closely. But to start out, let's just have a listen to the first part. So let's stop it there for a second. You can see we have Subaru and Miko kind of cheering Suisei on. And when you're cheering someone on, oftentimes you'll say, "Gambatte." I'm pretty sure anyone who has had any experience with Japanese media has heard this before, but let's break it down a little bit more carefully, understand what's going on here. Over here on the blackboard, well, it's not black or a board, so you know, do with that what you will. But we have a few different versions of this gambare, right? The gambare is the base verb here, and it's a regular verb, which we like regular verbs because they're easy to conjugate. Yes, Japanese does have verb conjugation. It doesn't have gender, so think yourself lucky. But let's start off with what if you just want to say, I will. I'm going to gambare. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to give it my all, right? Um, that's just the base form of the verb. So we just have gambare, gambare, gambarimasu, right? But if you're asking someone else to do their best, or you're wishing them good luck, or you know, break a leg, like in this case over here with Miko and Subaru, you know, rooting for Suisei, um, there's actually kind of two ways of saying it. There's more than two ways of saying it, but for right now, we're going to focus on these two. In the video, we hear "gambatte, gambatte" with the te. That's she cites te, te, gambatte. But you can also say, like, for example, I'm not used to writing these. Gambare, gambare, gambare. Also, do your best. What about if you're included in this picture too? You know, let's do our best. Let's work together to achieve something. Then we're gonna have gambaro, gambaro, gambarimashou. All right, so let's watch that from the beginning again with the extra context. Okay, so now we're gonna focus on this mazui desu. これはまずい. Right? What is this? Let's take a look. Right. So, first of all, mazui. Mazui. That's a good word. You hear it a lot with these types of streams. Mazui. It's bad. This is bad. It's not looking good, champ. You know. It's also used if like food is like really disgusting. Ugh, mazui. That sort of thing, right? Um, That's a great word, but I kind of want to focus on this sentence structure a bit too. Um, and if you have been watching a lot of Japanese media, you definitely know this des. But do you actually know what it is or why people say it? That's kind of the question I have here. Um, for all intents and purposes, or at least in this form, this des is actually somewhat equivalent, and this is an oversimplification, but is somewhat equivalent. It could be equivalent to. Let's see. This equals is slash r in this use case, right? So a lot of people, when you're first starting to learn kind of the basic grammar of things, you see like sentences like "kore wa pen desu," this is a pen, right? And people tend to think of the wa in "kore wa pen desu" as an is because it feels like it's doing the same thing and it's in the same place as the English equivalent. You know, kore being this, wa, surely that's is, and then we have mazui, so this is bad. But then what's this des doing? Well, actually, this wa isn't doing the job of is at all. It's just saying this over here is the subject of the sentence. So this is the subject of the sentence. Bad is kind of what we are working with here, right? This des is, and there's many forms of des, like da for the less formal version. But for right now, let's just take a look at this. So we have mazui desu. It is bad, basically, because you don't always actually need the subject at all. You can totally just cut the subject out if the subject is implied. We don't need to know that this is bad when things are just kind of bad. Alrighty, let's continue over through. It is looking bad for her. Right. So over here, we just heard three words that have somewhat similar meanings and can be confused at times. So let's go ahead and take a look over at the not white whiteboard or not black blackboard, whatever we're doing with this. So we have maji, honto, and zettai, right? So this like maji, honto is kind of like saying really or truthfully. Really, truly, maybe. If you can read my handwriting there. Um, Whereas this zettai is more close to like absolutely. 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 There we go. I'm not used to writing with these pens. But their use cases can be somewhat different. So while maji and honto are basically the same word, um, there are certain ways that you can use one that you can't use the other. For example, you can say honto ni. This ni is kind of similar to the ly in English. So we have the base word real and then you add the ly and it becomes really. Or you have the base word true and you add the ly and it becomes truly. So this honto is true. Honto ni, really, truly, right? It could be a question or it could be a phrase, you know, it's like honto ni, you know, it really is something. But you can't say maji ni. You can just say maji, right? And that kind of holds the same meaning as honto ni. You can also, in like this clip was, wish, you can say majika, making it a question. You can do that just by inflecting your voice, or you can add the ka, majika. You can also do that honto, honto ka, right? That works. So you can add the ka for this one, but you can't add the ni for the maji. Then zettai is somewhat similar, but different. So this zettai is kind of absolute, right? It's absolute. You can add the ni to make it absolutely. Zettai ni, right? So with that context, let's go back and take a look at the clip and try to understand what it is that's actually being said. Majika. Seriously, you guys died on me? Right? That's the kind of implication. Ato. Afterwards. Chotto. Just a little bit, John. Right? Hontoni. Really. So, we've just had a little bit longer to go. Really? Zettai ni clear shitaru kara. So, zettai ni, absolutely. Clear. I'm going to clear this. Shitaru kara. This is a bit of a more informal way of saying it, but it's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Zettai ni clear shitaru kara. I'm absolutely going to clear this level. Zettai ni, again. Zettai ni, absolutely. Then what's this ogore? Right? So the day at the end tells us that it's a command form. So she's telling them to do something. What's she telling them to do? Ogoro. Ogoro means to buy something for someone, right? So what is it that Suisei wants in this case? I think Subaru says yakiniku ne. So if you know your Japanese food, yakiniku is just like a, grilled meat. So she's implying, hey, if I clear this level, you're paying for some really nice meat for me. All right, let's continue on through and pick up some kind of important words where we can. And I'll explain as we go. Right, so right away we had a word that we've been hearing a little bit more recently since Laplace has gone off the rails. Nasakene, nasakenai means pitiful, or, like, oh, you're so, teensy weensy pitiful. Look at her. She's, on the ground right there. Like, nasakene. Then straight up afterwards we have, let's see, chichai, which is just a informal way of saying chisai or small. Hayaku, hayaku, quickly, quickly. Ike. The iku would be the base form of the verb to go. Iku, but she's commanding her to go. So instead of saying iku, she says ike. Bibiru. Bibiru is to be like afraid of something or to be surprised by something, right? Bibichatteru. So yeah, there's a slightly negative connotation to it with the, chimatteru. Next up we have kawaii ne sui-chan. Like, you honestly cannot be watching any Japanese media if you don't know kawaii ne, that sort of thing. Saying, oh, look at her, she's so cute under there. Now next up we have, let's take a look. Kiteru, kiteru, kiteru. Right? So this base form of the verb kuru, to come. Let's see. Kawaii ne. Right, let's take a look at this. This kiteru. So ordinarily we just have kuru. Kuru is the base verb of to come, right? But the monster is coming. So we change it to kiteru, kiteru. And this usually is kiteiru, but since it's being spoken quickly, it's shortened to kiteru, 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 right, like that. Yabai, yabai. Oh no, it's kind of similar to like mazui, right? Something is dangerous. This is one of those words that said you could have a conversation with just this word alone, because how you say it very much implies meaning. Yaba, yaba can be good. It can be like, whoa, that's so cool, right? We go, yabai can be really bad too. Now we have umai and sugoi, right? Umai and sugoi. So umai can mean like delicious, but it's pretty clear that's not what they're meaning here. In this case, it means like jozu, like nihongo jozu da ne, right? It means something is impressive, good, skillful. And we also have sugoi, sugoi right over here. Sui-chan, sugoi-chan, right? The sugoi, right? So cool, it's so amazing. All right, let's continue over here. Right, so first off, let's go with that are nani, right? Now, if you have everyone knows the whole like nani meme, right? But it just means what. But ordinarily, if you're making the sentence, you might think you need are wa nani or are wa nan desu ka. But in this kind of informal setting, she can cut out all the unnecessary grammatical bits and just kind of focus in on are, that, nani, what. What's that? What are those? This いじめられている. いじめられている. So いじめる is to bully, right? So いじめる is the base form of the verb. She is being bullied by something. And that's why we have the られている or られている on the end of it. So Sui-chan is being bullied by the akachan, the baby, the akachan. So we have akachan ni いじめられている. Kare ni clearしてやるから. Kare is like beautiful. I will beautifully clear this level. You watch me. で、泣いちゃった. This one's kind of interesting, really, because the base verb would be to like naku, to cry. So 泣いちゃった, right? 泣いちゃお. This ちゃお, ちゃった, ちまお, right? This implies a negative kind of connotation to it. Oh, she's gone, started crying now, right? 泣いちゃった. 泣いてしまった, right? Oh no, Sui-chan. Okay, let's finish off with a little bit of a review of the several words that we've been going through this time around. So let's start off with nasakenai. You hear this a lot from Laplace. Pitiful. Go ahead. Nasakenai. Nasakenai. Next up, we have this hayaku ike. Hayaku ike. Quickly go. Quickly go. Hayaku ike. Bibire. Bibire. To be frightened, surprised, shocked by something unexpected. Kawaii. Kawaii. To be cute or adorable, lovable. Kuru. Or there was also kiteru. Kiteru, right? To come. Coming. Kiteru. Kuru. Come. Kiteru. Coming. Yabai. Yabai. Something is dangerous. Something is crazy, right? There's it can mean whatever you want, really. Just depends on how you say it. Umai. Umai. Could be delicious. Could also be just really good at something. Be careful about context. Sugoi. Sugoi. Another one of those words that can mean anything you want it to, really. It can be amazing, or it can be really awful, just depending on how you say it. Naku. Naku. This is to cry. In the case of, you see someone, they started crying, naichatta. Naichatta. Right? So it changes depending on. Right, so that was my first attempt at some kind of Japanese lesson. Let me know if you guys actually found anything helpful or would enjoy seeing a different clip broken down a little bit, or if there's any specific grammar points that you want to learn about. Let me know. I don't really know what people want. I'm going to go back in the bushes now where I belong.